My beautiful friends, family, community, thank you for joining me here as I chat about being your own boss. So just as a quick introduction, because I know there are some new subscribers, thank you so much for being part of this channel. My name is Tara, and I specialize in personal and spiritual growth and development, but also to connecting the dots with what's happening in our outer world. It's all connected. So it's all about sovereignty. It's all about freeing yourself from the confines of limitations within self, as well as the outer world. Mostly working on the inner one, but it's all connected, right? So I do touch on some things that are happening in the world, but mostly on what is happening in our inner world and how that, of course, reflects outwards. So in this video, I want to talk about being your own boss, being an entrepreneur, and breaking through some of the limitations that you might run up against when you are starting your own business. So some of you out there might be just starting or thinking about it. Some of you might already have established your own business. Some of you might even work for another company, and that's completely fine. It's all about aligning with your meaning, with your purpose. And this is the work that I really focus on, is coming back into our center and really starting to connect with who we really are, what is really important for us, what we feel drawn towards. That is the main thing. If you're honoring that, you are on track. If you are working in a company or if you're working on a business that you don't feel in alignment with, then something might need to change so that you can create greater success and that you can have a fulfilling experience along the way. Now, being an entrepreneur, it's not easy. It is not easy. It's very challenging, but it will allow you to have freedom. Now, this for me is a very important part of my own quest, if you will, or my own direction. But there are so many benefits for being your own boss. And I do feel that on a global scale, I feel that the world needs more entrepreneurs. I do feel that it is going to offset some of the power plays that are happening in this world. And it is going to allow us to grow and expand in meaningful ways. Now, some of the challenges that entrepreneurs face is the personal challenge, because the level of success that is desired is going to result from here, from the success that is believed within self. So you can dream up the most magnificent success story, but alignment from here also needs to be in place. And this is also where manifestation comes from. We need to visualize what we want as the outcome and start to work not only on our own personal journey, but be open for flexibility, be open for unexpected change, and be open for things to fall into place in a way that we may not have expected. So life is very interesting. Part of it is our ability to create it. Then the other part is opening up for the mystery. Part of it is going to be very predictable in a way. Some of it is not. And we really need to be open for some of that unpredictability, some of the magic, if you will, the synchronicities, the universe showing us things or presenting us different options. And it may come in as a surprise. It may come in a way that may disrupt your pattern or may disrupt the path that you feel that you're on. So be open for change is a big one, right? So know what you want, but don't worry about the how so much. We need to be open for sometimes a little bit of divergence. If we give the change or if we give the opportunity a bit of a chance, if we feel aligned with it, then it very well could lead us somewhere better. So we do need to be open for that. Again, our goal setting is very important. Now, business structure and having a business and working with strategy and working with finances, that's, I feel, truthfully the easy part. You can always outsource, you can always get help with that, but it is the personal journey that is really required here. Because again, as successful as you want to be, it is going to come from how you feel about yourself achieving that success. Now, we come from a very repressed, depressed, suppressed society, history, our family, our culture, and this is what we've been raised around. So yes, there's amazing opportunity to be an entrepreneur and support around that, but we need to break through the energy of the past. We need to break through the belief systems that have been ingrained in us from a very long time ago. And even still, if you grew up in a very entrepreneurial family, then it could even just be inherited or even just things that may have showed up in your own life that have built up a resistance to fully believing in your capabilities and abilities and really shining and really putting yourself out there or going for it or just working in flow. And so we put a lot of pressure on ourselves as well. We want results. We want to know what's happening. And when we're an entrepreneur, it's a bit of the abyss. We don't really know sometimes, even if we're on the right track. I know internally, yes, we can tap into the knowing that, yes, this is what I'm meant to do. But some days there may be questions, and that's completely normal. Some days you may feel like giving up. That's completely normal. But remember, perseverance equals success, and you'll never know unless you give it all. And I've done this many times before. I have had many businesses. I have had many failures, and I don't regret any of it, because every time I have tried something new and every time I put a bit of risk out there, I gained so much knowledge. And it has been one of those stories of learning by failure, but those are the best ways to learn. So with that, though, also comes insecurities, because when we fail, we can also build up insecurities or take a hit with our self-confidence where we might hold back the next time. So these are all of our personal journeys that we need to overcome and that we need to be very aware of, so that we can fully step into our power, fully step into our confidence, and create the success that we want. So part of this is, of course, manifestation, working with energy, believing in ourselves, being aware of any limitations and blocks that are residing within the body, within your subconscious, within the conscious as well. Maybe some of them are very obvious. Maybe the fear of public speaking, or fear of putting your voice out there. And this is a very common thing, having our voice heard. A lot of us don't feel comfortable with that, and that's fine. And if there's a certain level of comfortability that needs to be respected, but if you feel the urge or you want to, then there's going to be that barrier that you need to break through, that you need to address and say, okay, what is needed for me to break through this barrier, this fear? And fear is the paralysis for entrepreneurs. It is the nemesis, and the one thing that you're going to have to overcome is the fear. And fear holds us back in many ways. Many ways. It comes up in frustration, anger, doubt, worry, lack. And lack mindset is, can I really do this? Is this really going to happen? Can I really create big success? And some of it, again, is very subconscious. Some of it, we hold it in our body, and we might not think it, but we'll feel it. So I do invite you, if you have your own business, if you're wanting to start your own company or any of the above, then feel into if anything's holding you back at all, if there's any resistance in there when you are feeling into the success that you want, and almost challenging yourself to do something different, challenging yourself to step out of your comfort zone. Where does your comfort zone lie? Are you confident sharing your voice? Are you confident speaking your truth? Are you confident putting yourself out there? Are you confident hustling and meeting new people? And so all those things are going to play out with your personal journey. So it's a very, very important and crucial practice in building success. And this appeals to all areas of life, of course. But I want to be very specific with entrepreneurs, because this is, well, it's part of my journey as well. It's part of I work with a lot of entrepreneurs also. And I do feel that we need to support small businesses that are going to turn into big businesses eventually, because this is going to be a very integral part of our culture moving forward that's needed in our society, I feel. Additionally, I also have to say, don't worry about money. Don't worry if money is going to happen, if it's not going to show up, if there's not enough to go around. There is. This is an abundant universe. We are here, we are supported. We need to believe that. We need to believe that money is available for us, that we can receive it, that we can claim it, and we can create it. There is so much money available for entrepreneurs, even if you think about how many businesses are supporting each other. The money blocks is quite significant also. We can create as much wealth as we want. So be very clear with what you want, and then see if there is something in between, a gap between, that is preventing you energetically from fully believing that you can create that. And I believe that I could create it for a long time. I was very headstrong, but that's not the place where we need to work from. It's not the mind, it's the heart. It's our internal knowing, our system, our body. Can we really feel into the reality of the success that we want to create? And what is it going to take to get there? And we break it down into, well, what is it going to take? Then we look at all the steps. Can I really do that? Am I really comfortable doing that to make this happen, to make that amount of wealth, or create that amount of success, or whatever appeals for you, or whatever path you're on? But we really need to break it down into segments and feel into all the different steps along the way to feel that we are confident in achieving all of those steps that are needed for us to really make a big impact. And where can you stretch your boundaries? Where can you step out of your comfort zone? What can you do that's a bit different? How can you speak your voice more? How can you encourage more, or How can you connect more as well? How can you inspire more? So all these different factors are a part of our big success story. So I do encourage you to take some time and feel into that if, again, you are an entrepreneur, if you have your own business, or you're wanting to start something, or even if you work for a company, that's completely fine. It's, again, in the feeling of your abilities. Even if you work for a company and you have to maybe advance your career by public speaking or managing a team, how do you feel about that? Do you feel capable? Do you feel able? I know when I worked for a company, I had complete imposter syndrome. I was working for one of the biggest ad agencies in North America, and I had serious doubts about my capabilities and abilities, even though I was doing a great job and I was producing great work at that time. Inside, I was really conflicted. So there are a lot of these cues and clues that we have within ourselves that offer us the ability to go within and feel into where's that feeling coming from, and why is it preventing me from fully claiming what I want and stepping into my power, stepping into my authentic self, not worrying about what other people are going to think, not worrying about if I'm going to be judged or if I'm going to fail. So I encourage you, again, if this is resonating with you and this video is finding you at the right time, spend some time with this. It's a very important part, and it is going to help you get across the finish line. And of course, I'm here to help at any stage along the way. So I do hope this video is finding you when you need it the most. And I'm wishing you all the best with your journey. Take care.